So the party that fanned the flames of racial unrest for political reasons and worked to bail out criminals who destroyed the cities in your country in the summer of 2020 held a somber ceremony today for the one riot that actually affected them.
2 years ago, on January the 6th, our democracy was attacked. There's no other way of saying it. The U.S. Capitol was breached, which had never happened before in the history of the United States of America, even during the Civil War. A violent mob of insurrectionists assaulted law enforcement, vandalized sacred halls, hunted down elected officials.
So, of course, there's only one law enforcement department that Democrats in Washington care about. It's the one that protects them, Capitol Police. The exaggerations today were quite a spectacle. Right now, dozens of January 6th prisoners remain in filthy jails and in some cases solitary confinement. They did not get a speedy trial, something that is protected for everyone in this country except them. But in their case, nobody cares. They've been charged with some of the highest crimes, treatment far worse than those who burned down, say, a Minneapolis police department with officers inside. Biden gave a posthumous award to Capitol Officer Brian Sicknick, who did tragically die of a stroke days after January 6th. Sicknick's girlfriend is now suing Donald Trump and two Capitol protesters for $10 million for his death. That'll be a tough lawsuit to win after medical examiners, as you can see in here from a CNN story, determined that Sicknick died of natural causes. Although, to be fair, the examiner did say that the stress of the day of January 6th likely contributed to his death. The narrative that even Biden circulated, alleging that Sicknick died after being hit by a fire extinguisher, of course, was a complete lie. Many in the media still push that lie today, even though we've learned more than a year ago that it's not true. There are loads of lies that are still pushed about January 6th. Here's another.
As a result of the events on January 6th, the lives of 5 heroic officers were lost.
It is with great respect and admiration that we are joined by the families this morning. Thank you to the families for considering us worthy to share your grief, to honor your loss.
Tears are for herself more than anything. I think we can all agree on that. 5 Capitol Police officers did not lose their lives on January 6th. They were not killed by protesters, of course. They died of other causes after January 6th, some suicides. It's still tragic, but they're obfuscating the truth, and they're doing it for a reason. This, for them, is a political day. And to be honest with you, it's a day they look forward to because they know they score a lot of political points on a day like this. And that's why this is so disgusting. Only one person was actually killed on January 6th, of course, somebody that they never talk about. Ashli Babbitt, an unarmed Trump supporter, Air Force veteran, shot in the neck by a Capitol Police officer. Totally unarmed, the only unarmed person shot by a cop that the left hasn't obsessed over. Lieutenant Michael Byrd, who went on NBC claiming he was just doing his job by opening fire, faced no consequences for that. Unusual. But in this case, in fact, the man was actually celebrated. He was a national hero. It's funny how it changes. The Biden administration never mentions Ashli Babbitt's name, of course. Earlier this afternoon, Babbitt's grieving mother, Micki Witthoeft, was arrested outside the Capitol on the 2nd anniversary of her daughter's death. This is the Capitol Police arresting the mother of Ashli Babbitt. That's the video you're looking at right here. Can you imagine the audacity for walking in the street, blocking traffic, they said. They arrested her. Handcuffed and taken into custody by multiple police officers. You don't think that was a political hit job? Give me a break. Micki Witthoeft was scheduled to join us tonight anyway, and then she got arrested, and she still has managed to join us tonight to talk more about this. And, ma'am, we want to thank you so much for coming on tonight. Can you tell us exactly what happened today?
Well, we went to the Supreme Court this morning at 8 o'clock to support the Brunson initiative, and it was our plan to go lay flowers on the steps of the Capitol for the 4 people, unarmed American citizens that lost their lives that day. That would be my daughter, Ashli Babbitt, Roseanne Boylan, who was beaten by a Metropolitan Police officer, Lila Morris, Kevin Greason, and Benjamin Phillips all lost their lives that day as unarmed American patriots. So we wanted to lay flowers on the steps of the Capitol. They were letting people in. They had it all barricaded off. They were letting people in, but they would not let us in with our signs and our flags. And so we opted to walk down the street that was already closed off. So we laid flowers on the east side. I'm not sure which side, but then when we went to go turn the corner, there was no sidewalk for us to walk on. There were other citizens walking on that sidewalk, but we were not allowed to because we had American flags at the United States Capitol. So we walked down the road because we had no sidewalk to walk on, and our option was to cross 4 lanes of traffic and walk on the other side, where I also would not have been able to honor my daughter by laying a rose for her around the Capitol building. And so we walked down the road, and I was arrested aggressively by that man right there. Yeah, the one right there, the tall, bald man. He was very aggressive. I put my hands behind my back, and that's when he started yanking me around. And then I was placed under arrest for failure to obey and obstructing a roadway.
You know, we see, Micki, we see in this country all the time. We see Black Lives Matter block traffic, walk down the road, stop a whole city at times. We see climate protesters sit in traffic, block highways. We never see them treated the way that you were treated today for doing far more than you did today. Obviously, this was political in nature to some extent.
Well, yeah, clearly, because they've lied about that day since day one. And, the January 6th committee hearing was a big sham. And, we've been here holding vigil outside the D.C. jail. That's where we're at right now. We've been here since August 1st. We hold a vigil for these men that have been housed in this building behind us unconstitutionally. Some of them have been held without even a bond hearing for over 700 days. Some of them have been adjudicated and found guilty on everything. And we sit in on the federal trials during the day, and it's my opinion that they try the day on the calendar and not the person for the offense. So we're here for all those reasons in D.C., and I have been here since August. And, if you want to support us, you can support us at for Ashli, the number 4, ASHLI.com. And or come down and join us on what we've dubbed Freedom Corner, where we sing the national anthem with men inside the jail every night at 9 o'clock.
Micki Witthoeft, I know it's been a rough couple of years for you, and I appreciate you coming on and telling us the story. I'm glad you're out of jail. It didn't last very long, and I'm glad for that.
I'm glad I'm out of jail too. It's so fun. Yeah,
I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, thank you so
Micki.
much. I appreciate you.
Appreciate
Thank you. God bless.
We'll be right back.